Hello and welcome to Babbles Travelling Yarns. This is a crafting podcast based in Limerick in Ireland. I am Grace. You can also follow me on Instagram as Vanawillemiel. I have this little twinkle in my mind. I've got almost I've got 14,000 followers here on YouTube, but on Instagram I have around 8. Now you have to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram before you can get the swipe up function, which is just so much more. I don't know why they don't have a swipe up function just to send, because you've only got the one link in your bio. It's anyway, I am trying to get up to 10,000 subscribers on Instagram just to make it easier for me and ye to get to links of things I'm talking about. I do a lot of Instagramming. I do a lot of, not too much, but I do a lot of Instagram lives, Instagram stories about things that I'm doing. There's a lot more cats over there on that section. If you're interested in the kitten cats, follow me on Instagram because they're everywhere. I also do announcements of fun things and collaborations and giveaways and stuff on Instagram as well. I just want to get to 10,000. I'm going to be honest. 10,000. That's where I want to be. Anyway. That was a little silly. Sorry. Anyway, so who am I? I am Grace. I don't know how long this episode is going to be. They're quite long because it's in the name. Babbles Travelling Yarns. I talk a lot. I talk for a long time and I can't stop myself. Sometimes I do. I'm like, okay, bye. But it happens rarely. So buckle up. So, so I think it has something to do with the fact that I'm Irish. I also say so a lot, which I've realized I've probably said about 12 times in this first section, which is totes fine. It's fine. I try not to say so again. And I travel. I used to travel a lot when I was free and footloose and fancy free, and just a little bit younger. I hate saying that now. I'm young. I'm hip and cool and down with the hip kids. I think everyone's a boomer now who's older than 15. So I don't know. So damn. How do you even start a sentence without saying so? How do you do it? I don't know. Anyway, if I can't raise enough money to go traveling, not raise enough money, but I'm trying to reduce a little bit of the frivolous traveling, maybe a little bit, and also try and travel vicariously. The internet is a wonderful place and you're able to really spread out and connect with people all over the world. What I love about traveling so much is the connections that I make and the people that I meet. And so I do that a lot through yarn and fibre, and the fibre histories of every country is slightly different, but in the end actually quite similar, which gives you a lovely thread of commonality. Puns. So this podcast, I've got a really interesting podcast for you actually. I was just on the phone this morning with the team from Muse Art. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Oops. They are very kind about it. So Muse Art is a company that creates, makes, spins, dyes and raises Eri silk from Eri silk worms. It's called piece silk because it actually allows the worm to hatch out of the cocoon, and then they take the cocoon afterwards, whereas most commercial silk actually lets the caterpillar create the cocoon and then boils the worm alive basically until it's dead, then it takes out so it doesn't cut through the lovely long fibers. So they are based in Meghalaya. I'm gonna let Miranda tell you a little bit more.
Hi Grace, thanks for connecting with us. You are curious to know about a new yarn that Muse Art is launching, So I'm here to tell you about it. So Grace, Muse Art wants your followers to know where our yarn comes from. It comes from Meghalaya, a hilly region in the northeastern part of India, and it's called air silk, which is also known as pea silk. It's a non-violent silk where we don't boil the cocoons. So we let the silk emerge. We let the moth emerge from the cocoon, and then we got this fibers. This is a cocoon sheet. It's hand processed, handmade in the village and in the studio or Muezart studio, and you can directly spin from this after it's processed. For those of you who want to order a sample card and want to try out airy silk, we have a sample card where we have the silk top, which is finely processed in the mill, and we also have the roving, and we have our cocoon sheets. This is how it looks after it's hand processed and handmade. It has been degummed because airy silk is the cocoon contains sericin. So we have sericin is a gum that binds the fiber. So we have to degum the sericin, and this is how it looks after degumming. And yeah, you can directly spin from it. You can either spin a thin yarn or a thick yarn depending on whatever weight yarn you want, and you can weave or knit with it. So that's the beauty of airy silk, because it's very versatile and flexible and you can make anything with it. And we want the whole world to know about airy silk and where it comes from. That is Meghalaya. This is the 15 by 3 yarn that we are talking about. We've just launched this yarn last week, and what I really love about this yarn is that it has the unique look, even though it's mill spun, but then it has that handspun look, and it has this like nubs and slop all over the yarn. So you can really see the texture if you're going to weave or knit with it. And also this yarn will be available in all these colors, 6 colors. I think we have it in cherry malt, monarch orange, sun glow yellow, fern green, azalea pink, and sterling grey, and also the maroon. This is all hand dyed in the village, and hand dyed and naturally dyed with plants that all women collected from the forest. To give you a feel of this yarn, you can see the close-up of the weight of the yarn. I'm wrapping it here so you can really get a close-up look of the weight and the texture of the yarn.
So I have some airy silk. I actually went ahead. I can't remember if they reached out to me or if I reached out to them. Either way, I fell in love with the product immediately. I got a little sample card, one of the sample cards that they were showing you, and you can see the different types of fibre. I got some undyed fibre. Once I got the sample card, I was like, this stuff is absolutely beautiful. The sample card was free, I believe, at the time. Yeah, so it's everything they're making at the moment currently is 100% airy silk. I think their new range, the one that they were just talking about, is going to be about 27 American dollars per 100 gram skein. It is unbelievable price for 100% silk, hand reared airy silk. Oh, it's crazy good prices. But and also you are supporting a local industry and a local environment, and if you follow their feed on Instagram, which you must, you should you'll see like the stories that they make. They create little stories about the different people that work with them, and you can see how the process happens. It's so educational. That's why I absolutely love Muse Art. You can see what's happening. It's so transparent. Yeah, so I have a lot of the silk sliver. It's gorgeous stuff. and I've actually been using it to it's quite a short staple length, so I have been using it as art pieces to go into my weaving, but also, yeah, to spin it you would need, I think, well, this is the what is this? So the sliver, and then there's top as well. I don't know what the difference is between the top and the sliver. Is that bad? Sorry. But yeah, you can spin this or you can blend it into other blends, and it comes in this beautiful natural packaging. So pretty. Then I got this giant sack of silk cocoon cakes, which is just the cocoons that are degummed, and they were the ones that Miranda was holding actually in her hand. And I've actually been spinning these. Really beautiful to spin, and it spins so fine, it's so beautiful. So this is just being hand spun. This is the cocoon cake there, you can see. So it pulls out really nicely, and I've been spinning it. My spindle's gone a bit wonky. It spins so easy straight from the cocoon cake. It's a beautiful thing. Do you know what would be nice as well? If you could dye, you could definitely dye these, because the silk takes colour so beautifully. You could dye them before you spun them up. Oh, actually, I really want to try that. Oh, I've got to get my dye pots out again, but it's not looking like it's going to be before Christmas, because Christmas is in a very short amount of time. So I've got an entire bag full of cocoon cakes, and it's so easy to spin that I'm actually taking these around with me as demonstrations. In a beautiful bag by Bertie and Poppet. So pretty. This was given to me by Aisha, and this bag is amazing. I love it. And it's a nice little drop spindle size. So yeah, so the collaboration that we are doing, we are gathering together some delicious, beautiful prizes, and I would recommend going over and following Muezart's page. We're going to be doing a live as well on Monday at 6 p.m. GMT, which is 1 p.m. like lunchtime Eastern Standard Time, like on the New York coast, and then you can work it out from there. I've done that much. That's as much as I can do. So I'm going to bring you a little bit closer, because I feel like that light is so bright. Hi! It's a bit too bright. I might need to turn it away from me a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just really happy that they reached out to me and asked me if I'd be interested in joining them for a little bit of collaboration between small businesses and small businesses all across the world. So yes, also, can I find the colour card they sent me? No. Are the colours stunning and beautiful? Yes. Look at this beautiful colour card. It's all naturally dyed with plants like foraged from the forest by the women. Like, I think what I really, really love about Muezart is I can see where it's being made. I can see who the people are doing it. That's what gets me. Tell me who's making it, and I want to support them. I want to support. There was this wonderful lady who's set up a workshop and hired local women, and she's doing a lot of the dyeing as well. She's doing like teaching women how to dye and kind of educating them and spreading that sort of skill, which is like incredible, you know. So I really admire that in people, and the colours, the depth of colour, the depth of shade that they can get from natural dyes are stunning. The magenta is so pretty, and I'm in love with this kind of soft grey of the cherry malt colour that they've got, and then they've got this dark grey. So I was thinking about maybe getting those three and putting them together into something. So the yarn is a fingering weight, so which means that but it's a light fingering weight, so it has something like 560 yards in 100 grams. Like, that'll get you a long way. And I'd say, you know what, if you held that with some mohair, it would come up to a normal fingering. anyway, it's on its way to me, and I can't wait to get swatching with it and seeing what I can do. Also, they do supply a lot of undyed yarns, so I'm saying if you want some, you know, ethical 100% silk, any indie dyers that watch me, they are wonderful to work with, so responsive and very kind, and I really recommend them. So yeah, okay, so what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm going to show you what I've been making with it. I am so close. If you've been following the Vlogmas, I've been weaving on this all the time, and look, I'm at the end. So I don't think I'm going to weave right to the end, and I think I'm going to leave the hem stitching for my class tomorrow up in This Is Knit, just to show them how I hem stitch, show them how I cut it off the loom, and yeah, so it's beautiful. There's a whole lot of yarn on there. So this is the Airy Silk, just a plain white. I wanted to experiment in white, and the last bit I was kind of rushing, so I didn't do too much more experimenting, although I did do some pickup weaving, which was quite fun and interesting, and I don't think I filmed it, which is, why did I not film it? I'm vlogging, why didn't I film? Anyway, maybe I'll do a tiny bit of pickup here at the end and I'll film it. It won't be in tonight's vlog though, because I've too much to talk about. So yes, so weaving with the Airy Silk was fascinating. I'm weaving with a fingering that they've got, which is mill spun, and it's quite a smooth mill spun. It's not the same as the one that's coming out at the moment. The one that's coming out has lots of like kind of handspun textural qualities, but because it is mill spun, it would be fantastic for a warp, for a textured weaving warp, or knitting. Actually, it's all about texture these days. So even, you know, letting the yarn speak for itself with the fabric. I love a simple knit, but the yarn is kind of textural and interesting. So yeah, I think I've got I've got some of this, which is cotton and linen, and you see this slubby texture, kind of slubs and little fine bits. I think the Airy Silk is quite similar to that, the one that's just coming out, the 15-3, but it's much finer and much softer than the cotton and silk, because I think this is like a DK effect. Yeah, it's 220 meters, so this is a DK, so it would be a really light fingering, which means it's really fine. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'll let you know when I get it. Yeah, so thank you so much to Miranda, Joanna, who else? Peter and Rita. Thank you so much. And I'll put in some cat footage now for you lads. Did you hop into my hot podcasting seat the second I got out of it? Oh, don't you look away from me. Don't look away from me. Oh, such a cute little nose though. Boop, boop, boop. And then I have another cat somewhere. Whoop. Hi. Hello. Hello, my lovely baby. I get these messages. How are your cats? I'm like, they're so glorious. If there's one thing that joins me to the rest of the world, it's my cats and my knitting. And you know what? I'm totes fine with that. Apart from those people that really hate cats. And I'm like, there's no need to hate on cats. Calm down. They'll leave you alone if you leave them alone. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. We're going to be, so that live is going to be on Monday at 6 p.m. in GMT with Muse Art. Say it right. And then we're going to be announcing the winners on the 23rd of December, right in time for Christmas. A lovely Christmas surprise for you. So yeah, keep in touch. Yeah, so I've got a weaving class tomorrow. So I'm driving up tomorrow, and I am picking up one loom in Kildare, and then heading up. My wonderful colleagues at the Guild have actually worked up some of the looms for me. Thank you so much. And yeah, so I'm bringing up a load of samples, and I'm just going to go through them really quickly so you can see I've actually done a lot of weaving. Will we do a time lapse? Not really. but like when I did the first ones, can I even remember? I think it was that one, then that one. No, this one first, then that one, then that one. That's the last one I did. Then that's the second last one I did. Then there's that one, and then there's that one. Then I think this one was probably here, and then there was I think like that. Yeah, okay. So this scarf is the first one that I ever made. This is the first piece that I made in a class. So this was a day-long class with the guild, and this is handspun. And I was a bit worried that handspun was way too like delicate, but nope, incorrect I was. This is a houndstooth pattern, so that is going to be shown on the, but then didn't I run out of the red so it was white. And this was with Dolton Border Leicester wool, and they are a slaughter-free flock, which means that none of their sheep go for meat. They're just solely for wool, I think. Yeah, so that's houndstooth. And then we have a gingham. So I was trying lots of different types of plain weave. So that's a gingham. And this one now was my first one that I made on my 16-inch. No, it wasn't actually. It was, maybe it wasn't. No, I think it was a 16-inch. And it was actually a double weave project, which means that it's very wide, but it was woven in half. It was actually woven like that. What's he doing? They're screaming at each other. So yeah, that is a scarf that I was doing. It was going to be like a Doppler scarf. That was the idea. So I'd have the stripes kind of running through it. If you see, the stripes were thicker at the edges, thin in the middle, and it kind of gives this bit of a Doppler effect. And then of course I forgot what I was doing, so stripes became different sizes. And then this piece was my first attempt at making a garment, and it was my first attempt with making a garment, and I decided to use handspun. So this is a handspun gradient that I cannot remember where the yarn came from. This was handspun merino wool that was prepped from a fleece from Australia. And then the weft across was all handspun as well. And then the warp then I think was from Irish Fairytale Yarns, I think, when they did fibres. I don't know if they're doing fibres anymore. And then I decided to up my game a little bit and try and improve my weaving a lot, because my weaving was shocking, as you can see. my handspun, not my weaving as well, actually. Anyway, so then I decided to weave another kind of gradient, but kind of give another go at it. So I had a little bit thicker stripes, and I made my coat again, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love wearing it so much. Yay! So that is nice. Then I decided to up my game again and start doing a little bit of twill. And then I realized that I really should have been weaving with like a dark or a light yarn to show all the work that went into twill. With a lot of work, but yeah. And twill just means that you're getting a little bit of a diagonal. If you can see, there's a little bit of a diagonal, and you can actually make other shapes if you're good enough. I decided just to keep going in one direction because I kept on forgetting my sequence. And this is John Arbon's handspun as well, and it's like a suit of armor, this thing. It is thick. Twill is thick and it sucks in. It requires like almost, I can't remember exactly. Then different structure here. I started weaving with linen, So this is my linen scarf. This is from, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous now. It's worth it, all the trouble. But this is a Lithuanian linen rainbow kit, and it is from Midwinter Yarns. Beautiful. I love it so much. It's so light and so warm at the same time. I don't understand it. Linen is magical. Then I did a really simple houndstooth again, and a really lovely little edge on that one, and this is a glittery houndstooth. Oh, and this was when I was first announced as a brand ambassador for Sweet Georgia, because I wanted to use the one Sweet Georgia braid that I had been saving so hard. So it's a glittery Sweet Georgia in the silver, and then the dark blue is a skein from Isis Fibre Arts from Canada as well, and they're both Cashlux Spark base, like cashmere, and I think they're both gorgeous. I love this one as well. So and it's lovely and wide, really nice. Then I decided to go full plaid and try and make enough fabric with some hand-dyed yarn to make a skirt. And I've got this far in my skirting. I just need to sew the zip, but I've forgotten about it and I've got other projects going on, so I just haven't done that. But this is hand-dyed by Your Wool down in Cork, and it is it's a beautiful, I think it's like Wensleydale and all sorts of things. Then the last thing I pulled off the loom and made was this piece, which is made from Babbles yarns in the woolen colorway. I think I might wear this tomorrow. This is a tunic design, which I do need to take in at the sides because it does make me look a little bit like a bag. So yeah, I might take it in at the sides. I might take it in inside. I might do something inside and make a little thing. We had a chat about this. If you're watching the podcast for a long time, you can see some pictures of this and stories about what I'm going to do with this. But at the moment, it's sitting folded in my bag for ready for samples tomorrow. So it's nice to have something to show them what I'm going to be doing with them, and the potential of where to go after you know how to actually weave. So that's all my weaving. I've been doing quite a lot of it, but all the same. Well, I've been doing some lino lace and I've been doing some other bits, which is quite nice as well. So next, my spinning. I've not done that much. I started trying to spin one of these every day, which is my advent calendars from last year, and they're all plant-based. So this one is rose fibre dyed using onion skins. This one is a kind of a pink. I think this actually is rose fibre as well, but it's dyed using red cabbage and madder. So shiny. This one is bamboo dyed using berries. So it's kind of like a silvery grey. Difficult to show that one there, it's very bright. Then I think this one stopped me. This was hemp dyed using walnut, and I've just got to get the bowl of water out to spin the hemp properly, so I just haven't been able to. Anyway, the spinning wheel is actually tucked in behind the Christmas tree as well, and my electric spinning wheel, I think I'd need a bit more control for the hemp, so I do need the manual spinning wheel for that. So that's what slowed me down anyway. This is tencel dyed using satsuma skins, so like little orange skins. So you've got this little baby pink colour, which is so cute. And then this is banana fibre dyed using madder and onion skins. And that like fiery orange. It is beautiful. So I have managed to spin two of these little mini skeins, and I'm spinning them into singles. One for speed, but two, I'm loving the look of the singles. So this one is sea cell dyed using madder, which is like a lovely baby pink again. Lovely little baby pink. So there's my light there, very classy. But you can see the camera's a lot better on that side. This one was a little tricky to spin. Yeah, it kind of kept stopping short a little bit. It kept getting kind of caught with itself. It was a little bit grippy. This one was mint fibre. I think this was the mint. Yes, this one was the mint fibre. I don't know what it was dyed with. Probably madder and something else. But this mint fibre was literally like heaven to spin. It was so easy. It just slipped out of my fingers. Not in a bad way, you know, it just slid through my fingers and just, I would spin this every day of the week. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, that's what I have been spinning, and I haven't really been spinning because A, the Christmas tree went up, so everything's kind of a bit like packed, and B, because the Christmas tree's up, the cable for my electric spinning wheel is too short to reach me at the... Anyway, I need to get a battery pack. I just need to get one. I'll get one, it's fine, I'll get one. Yeah, so that's my spinning. I don't know if I told you about this, but I've been speaking a lot about this in my first few weeks of podcasting. This is a punch needle kit that came from Wild Wool Way, and I was punching from the back, so you can see I tried a couple of different methods. I tried I tried filling in, I tried going this way and then filling in, I tried going over and back this way, or up and down like with rays, and I don't know what I did there. I think it was around and around filling in. This is the most satisfying thing in the entire world. This is called punch needle. I got an Oxford punch needle, and yeah, I was inspired by Bookhu, and there's another lady which I was inspired by. I spoke about it on my previous on a vlog that I showed, and on my Instagram actually you can see the woman who the design is actually inspired from. So I don't want to, I kind of did copy what she was doing, but it's beautiful and gorgeous, and I think she actually sells her work, so I would like you to go over and have a look at that and see for yourself what beautiful pieces she has. But I just love it. So this is for my mum. It's going to be either hanging in her kitchen, or I'm going to cut it out and make it like a trivet for the coffee table, which she is yet to buy. She's redone her whole house and it's very pretty. So I thought, and it was so quick. This was done in a night. Oh, it's so satisfying. It's basically stabbing something repeatedly and colouring in. Like colouring in and stabbing. It's mindfulness and wellness in just one thing. So they're all the things. Oh, I've also started doing some crochet. Yeah, so I've got this beautiful advent calendar. We did an advent swap, myself and my friend Kathy, and yeah, so I started crocheting again. I don't know if I ever showed anybody this, but I was planning on having like everything be really small, like this top section, and I was like, this is taking too long. So I have started to shake things up a little bit. Now I'm not just doing stripe after stripe, I'm kind of throwing in other colours through there. I'm doing like single crochets or the V-stitch or double crochets, or this one is like a spike stitch down here, just to kind of shake it up a little bit. So I know that this one is from Hedgehog Fibres, this one is from Strand Designs, this one I think is Hedgehog Fibres as well. This blue was a blue that I had, I just wanted to break it up between the orange and the pink, I just needed a little bit of cooling there. I don't know where this one is from, this orange one. This grey one, I don't know either. And this top pink one is Le Bien-Aimé. So maybe that one, I can't remember what that one is. But yeah, it's so much fun. Thank you so much, Kathy. So I've gotten 5 days out of the advent calendar into that, and I've got loads in there to keep me going. I've not opened them just to kind of be a little bit of a surprise. So this is in my bag from Curious Handmade. No, Circus Tonic Handmade. That's where this bag is from. I bought it at the Sydney Knitters Guild when she was there, and that was the first time I kind of interacted with her. and that was the first time that we kind of connected. And then she was really my first mentor when it came to dyeing and kind of the industry of knitting. So thank you so much, Hannah. I found this bag and I was like, oh, because I think I bought a couple of bags at that time and I've given away some, but this one I couldn't because it's got this like little mint thing and it's got the grey and the little dandelion. So yeah, so that is my crochet that I've been doing. Haven't touched the other cowl. Something wrong with me. It's so close to finishing. I think I'm just kind of a bit like, oh, I got so many other projects. All the advent calendars kind of got to me. But anyway, so then this is my SMAL project, which is coming up because we're at the sleeve separation state. Well, I've split it for the sleeves up here, and here is where I last spoke to you, maybe, or yeah, I think that's where I last spoke to you. This is a beautiful stitch marker that my friend Oslo knitter Lotte gave me. It's the Lotte pink. Yeah, so I am knitting away on that. That one is super easy. It's like my pair of socks now, and I'm using my helical technique, helical knitting, which I got another shout out the other day. It's just wonderful how it's helping so many people. I'm really delighted. Yeah, so sorry, I dropped a whole mess of stitches there. So yeah, this is my simple knitting. I'm just knitting around and round and round, using helical knitting. It is, I'm just going straight down. I'm not doing any waist shaping. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just knitting. And it is a lovely project to have. Just so you need to grab something that you're not too like precious about. And that's not too complicated either. So it's in my first ever My Cottage number 9 bag. I love this one. So then we get on to the one that I'm actually doing the most work on, which is actually my Advent project. So last year I got an Advent from Flourish Fibres, and it was naturally dyed merino nylon. So it was a 24 stitch, 24 little minis, and what I am doing is I am putting them into the Timely cardigan by Truly Myrtle or Libby Johnson. So this is the Timely. I have been wanting to knit it for a while, but I really liked the little stripes. So according to this photo, she's got something like 30 something stripes, 35 stripes on this little cardigan. I think that she's probably a smaller person than me, but I've got 24 minis. So if I'm putting 2 stripes in each, then I'm going to get something like 50, well, I'm going to get 48 stripes. So that's, you know, like 35, it's about 10 more stripes, 10 more sections of 4 though. So I'm basically just going to knit until I'm done, really. There's quite a lot of yarn left over after doing the rounds, so those will be grand for the sleeves. So yeah, I have plenty of yarn, which is always nice. So at the moment I have started with a light colour, really light, and I cannot remember what everything is dyed with, but it's documented in the Vlogmas. So yeah, it's not documented anywhere else because I'm terrible at writing things down. I think I have an aversion to it. I have also changed this pattern very slightly. I have decided to, it is a cardigan and I want it to stay a cardigan, but I am knitting it in the round. Because your girl hates purling. Someone sent me this like message description about how to purl easier, and I'm like, I need to visualize. I can't have someone type it down. It doesn't make sense to me. I have to have someone show me. So if that was you, if you could send me a link to a video of somebody doing it your way, I'd like to know. I just find it really awkward. I like to purl using Portuguese purl if the rows are long, but it's still not exactly the same as knitting for me. Yeah, so I am using as the alternative colour, which is this grey, I'm using Shunnock Yarns, and I am using it, I can't remember it, this is the Limnock base, which is her fingering nylon, I think it's merino nylon, and I have 3 of these, so I have more than enough to make a really nice long stripy rainbowy type jumper, type cardigan. So I just miss, and I think the grey as well will, because it's naturally dyed as well using oak and iron, and yeah, so it all ties in together like this. I love the way this peach, this really light blush, turns into a bit of a peach and then goes a little bit more yellow, and now we're getting onto like greens, like a mustardy chartreusey greens. So I think it's going to go down into the blues and then up back again into the purples and then into the reds. So yeah, I got a whole rainbow, which was so lovely. And because we are currently watching Doctor Who, I am using my lovely Doctor Who stitch marker from Linda Robbie down in Sydney. I think she's actually running a charity or a GoFundMe for a piece of equipment for her son Toby, who has, I think he has, he's in a wheelchair. I think he's got cerebral palsy perhaps. Beautiful child. Oh my god, he's the most cutest. So yeah, if you want to give a little bit towards her GoFundMe, I'll pop it down below if I remember. But it's Linda Robbie on Instagram as well. So I just had a sudden flashback there, and then all this other information kind of aimed in at me. So I'm at the stage now where I do need to concentrate a little bit. Why am I knitting? Because I can't not knit. The yarn is so lovely on both of these, and I don't know whether it's because they've both been treated with natural dyes or what. It's probably not the reason. Well, maybe I'd like to imagine it is, but there's just so much meaning involved in them then. So, and they are in my new My Cottage number 9 bag, which is kind of a little sister to this one. So it's the same sort of fabric, but same sort of colors and shapes. But I love this dark fabric at the bottom because it means that it doesn't get as dirty, which I appreciate. So it's My Cottage number 9 for these beautiful bags. And my favorite bit, so nice. I think she has a few Christmas bags left in her shop at the moment. Next year. Or people who love Christmas every year. Oh no. Every battery in the land has decided to die. That's fine. Where was I? Oh yes. So this has really become super easy now. I just need to get to the point where I'm splitting for the sleeves, and then I'm home free really. It's a very simple raglan top down. I am knitting it on 3.75, I think 3.25 actually. I'm taking a leaf out of Barbara's book, Knitting I Love, on the fingering weight sweaters, because I didn't assume gauge. I didn't do a gauge swatch. I'm the worst. I'm becoming the actual worst. I'll just try it on and find out. Yeah, that's what I love about top down as well. It's like, it's kind of a swatch, and then if it's too big you just rip out a few rows and then split there. If it's too small then you just add on a few more rows. That's what suits my body shape anyway, so, or I'm not too fussy about it. It's fabric, it stretches, it's fine. I should swatch. I know I should swatch. I know, don't kill me. So yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. Gosh, that's quite a lot though, isn't it? Yeah, so I have essentially 4 jumpers on the go. One of them is in permanent hiatus, as in so close to being ripped out that it's kind of imminent. One of them is a design where I still haven't figured out where I'm going with that. My brain is a bit full to deal with that at the moment. And then I've got the 2 that I'm running with, which seem to be working out and behaving themselves. So yes. So that is what's going on in my life. And the past couple of days, months, no, it's probably been 2 weeks, but I have been doing daily vlogs as well. If you want to follow those, you can, no bother. Oh, what I'm wearing. Okay, so let's do this. So what I'm wearing at the moment is a slow wardrobe dress. This is a smock. It's a slow wardrobe dress. It's a smock in the peacock colorway, and it has these super deep pockets which hold my lipstick and this. So I love wearing these with leggings so much. So this is in collaboration with the Slow Wardrobe. She's actually, Linda from the Slow Wardrobe, is actually sponsoring a few episodes of my podcast, and it's the first time that I've had a sponsor. So that's really exciting. I'm getting she has given me these beautiful pieces as part of the sponsorship deal, and just to show you what sort of, this is a new fabric that they've actually had woven. So if you see, there is a blue and a green, so it's like a really bright blue and a bright green, which kind of mutes the colors down into this kind of subtle peacocky shade, which is why it's called Peacock, and it is absolutely beautiful. I'm in love with it. This is the size 1. I can't zoom out too far, but I might go outside the door here. You might be able to hear quite a lot actually from James is watching that new Top Gear show. So this is the shape of it. I'm 5'11", which is about 183 centimeters. Yes, I'm wearing 2 different. One of my slippers got wet, and then I just put 2 hand knit socks on this foot. It makes sense. It's fine. So the shape of this smock is quite nice in that it covers your thighs and it allows for a little bit of flow in the front. Say if you've got a nice fancy dress or a nice fancy leggings that you want to show off. And then if you want to, I have another one which is the tabard, and it goes down in front in a point down in the front just there, and that's quite lovely as well. They're both lovely, and they can be layered, hence the name layer cake garments. It's very important that you show off how much you can dance. You can boogie, you can do high kicks. Yeah! See, you can defend yourself. It's got pockets. It's the ultimate feminist statement. So thank you very much everyone at Slow Wardrobe. It's pretty fab. I love them. I'm pretty much in one outfit or another. I've got 3 now. So I've got a grey tabard, I've got a red tabard, and I've got this peacock smock. And I've got a few extra bits coming to me. I think I've got overalls coming and maybe a spinning skirt. I'm very excited about the spinning skirt actually. And I was thinking about getting a play suit, but I think the overalls would be nice. The overalls might do it. There's so many beautiful things. Also, very important, you need to know that there is a discount, a 10% discount if you use the code BabblesCake10, and you can use it through the link down below in my bio, in my details down below, so you can see it there. And it'd be great if you were able to get a little bit of a discount for watching the podcast. I really appreciate it. My viewers are the most special viewers, you know what I mean, so it's kind of nice. Yeah, so that helps a little bit. towards using something that is so well made. And yeah, so they what Linda does is she actually gets a mill in Lithuania to weave up. It's Lithuanian linen, so she gets the mill in Lithuania to weave up her specifications of fabrics, which is why she's able to get such interesting color and texture. And then all of her pieces are handmade in England by herself and a small team. I think there's only 2 of them. I'm not sure how many, but it's only a small amount of them. And yeah, they're based in the southeast of England. She's got a podcast as well, if you want to go and follow her Instagram, where she gives you loads of different styling advice. I love it. It's low, it's handmade, it's really thoughtful process. It's a beautiful piece of work, and I love it so much. So yeah, head over and have a look if you want. So that's everything I kind of wanted to say today about things that I'm doing and making. I hope your Christmas is going well. I hope everything is going really lovely for you. I have a number of giveaways to give away. But I'm going to do that in a separate video because there's quite a lot, and it's people from the Spin and Make Along. I also need to pack the car to go up to Dublin tomorrow. I'm leaving early enough, and I need to warp up a few of the looms when I'm up there. So also, I nearly forgot, there's a very special charity project which we're working on, myself and the team up in This Is Knit. It's a charity project combining yarn that is dyed specifically for the project by Townhouse Yarns. And what is going to happen is I am going to be warping a loom during the class with this specific yarn, and then during the week we are going to invite everybody to come in and have a go at weaving your part of the scarf using a complementary warp yarn that has been dyed specifically. We had lots of chats and we were looking at lots of nice pictures. It's going to be beautiful. And yeah, so what we're going to do is so everybody is invited to come in, maybe make a donation to add a few little rows to the weaving, get used to the weaving, get used to the feeling of the shuttle, and give it a go. And all the money raised will go to homeless charities across Ireland, across Limerick and Dublin. We're hoping to raffle it off sometime over Christmas. Yeah, so we hope to have that all set up for you, so you can come in anytime after the class on Sunday. I think it finishes at about 4 maybe, but they might be closed. So from Monday onwards, you can come and join us and give back a little bit this holiday season. Isn't that what it's all about? And at the end, someone will get a beautiful hand-woven scarf by lots of hands that mean very well, and that has lots of thoughts and memories and wishes for the new year for people with less lucky circumstances. Yeah. So I'm just after releasing tickets to my retreat, and they have literally sold out. Everything is gone. I'm kind of astounded. And I'm always feeling a little bit guilty and devastated then as well, because I'm like, oh no, everyone didn't get to come. But what can you do? The house is only as big as it is, and unfortunately that's the way of it. So however, we do have an interesting class that's going on. Mina, my friend Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast, is visiting us at Easter. So on the 11th of April, she's coming over to teach a class at the retreat. It's all about pattern hacking. So making your sort of figuring out what you need to do to make your pattern work. Say if you've got, say, handspun that isn't quite the right gauge for the pattern, or say you've got say fingering weight that you want to double up to make into a worsted weight sweater or a DK weight sweater. She'll tell you how to adjust your patterns, how to adjust your gauge swatches, which size to knit, if you need to adjust anything. And you know, I suppose I haven't taken the class yet, but yeah, so it's gonna be really interesting, and we're lucky to have her. There might be a few other classes that we might think about as well. So if you know of any class that you'd like to take with Mina, do let me know, and maybe we can add that in. We'll see. Okay. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful few weeks. I don't know if I'm going to get another podcast in before Christmas. I've got a very busy weekend, the weekend before Christmas, and I'm working Christmas Day, which sucks. And I am preparing a meal for my family on the 24th, so I'm not going to be podcasting that day. So I think we're not going to get another vlog until after. I think I might be off the New Year, so I might do a podcast on the New Year. That might be my next day off. Oh my god, I think that's right. Like a day off of any responsibilities whatsoever, you know, not including family stuff. So if I don't see you, happy Christmas. Thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for subscribing, for liking. It really helps. If you have any comments at all, chat away down below. I'll try and get back to you if it's something that needs an answer immediately. And I love you lots. Thank you.